Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So I want to give you the latest on what's going on with Israel. We've got more news coming out here, and I'm going to be showing you a video here in just a moment. So this gentleman that you see here on your screen, that's with President Biden. This is King Abdullah II. He's the king of Jordan. Okay, and Jordan is a Middle Eastern country that's right next to Israel to the east. So Biden has welcomed King Abdullah to open discussions and talks about, ending this war in Gaza and, what they're going to do about this to try to prevent a catastrophe here. Okay, so if you haven't been following my videos and what's going on here, Israel is planning to move into the southernmost town of Gaza called Rafah. Okay, and right now Rafah's got well over 1 million people. The numbers are projected to be as high as like 1.5 million people inside of a city that normally had less than 200,000 people. So the reason why it's so packed is because it's the furthest away from where all the fighting is at. And Israel has evacuated nearly the entire Gaza Strip. Anybody that was living in the northern side, they evacuated all of them to the south where Rafah is at. Okay, so Rafah is packed with refugees that are trying to flee away from this war, and they've got nowhere to go. They can't go to, any direction, really. They're stuck there in Rafah because they're right on the border of Egypt. Excuse me, and Egypt will not allow them to come in. So it's a big problem what's going on there. And there's lots of different countries coming out and warning against this. Okay, the International Criminal Court is warning Israel as well and saying, if you guys go in there, there's probably going to be war crimes and Israel's going to be in big trouble for this. Okay, so Netanyahu is stating that he wants to send his troops in there. He's already been bombing it for the last couple days. We've got hundreds of people that have been killed already. Okay, so I want to show you this video here real quick. Let's get into this and listen to what the King of Jordan has to say here, and then we'll discuss it.
We cannot afford an Israeli attack on Rafah. It is certain to produce another humanitarian catastrophe. The situation is already unbearable for over 1 million people who have been pushed into Rafah since the war started. We cannot stand by and let this continue. We need a lasting ceasefire now. This war must end. Military and security solutions are not the answer. They can never bring peace. Civilians on both sides continue to pay for this protracted conflict with their lives. All attacks against innocent civilians, women and children, including those of October 7th, cannot be accepted by any Muslim, as I had previously stressed. We must make sure the horrors of the past few months since October 7th are never repeated nor accepted by any human being. We must together, along with Arab partners and the international community, step up efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza and immediately start working to create a political horizon that leads to a just and comprehensive peace on the basis of the two-state solution. An independent, sovereign, and viable Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, but living side by side with Israel in peace and security. This is the only solution that will guarantee peace and security for the Palestinians and the Israelis, as well as the entire region.
Okay, so as you can see there, he's definitely standing against Israel and telling basically Benjamin Netanyahu that he cannot initiate this offensive into Rafah. Okay, just as he said there, it's going to be a catastrophe. Okay, it will be a complete disaster. I've been talking about that as well, that this is more likely going to lead to many, probably hundreds, if not thousands more Palestinians getting killed, because Rafah is just so densely packed right now. There's well over 1 million people there in a small confined area, and Hamas is using these innocent people as shields to protect themselves. And supposedly Netanyahu's claiming that there's like 4 battalions left inside of Rafah. So that could be hundreds, if not thousands, more of Hamas troops inside of Rafah. Okay, so it's going to get really bad there if he decides to move in. But as far as we know, Netanyahu's planning to move in there. So there's getting to be a lot of pushback from around the world. There is a potential for a aid package that will be coming to Israel. If it passes the House, it just passed the Senate. There was an aid bill for Ukraine and Israel. Okay, and it may pass the House, but I don't think it will. I think it will probably fail in the House. But yeah, there's lots of pushback here. Lots of people that are saying, hey, don't do this. This is going to go really bad. So here's a little bit of pushback right here. I want to show you this. So the Dutch court orders halt to export of F-35 jet parts to Israel. Okay, so there's parts that are being sent to Israel for F-35 fighter jets, and they just got halted. Okay, so a Dutch court on Monday ordered the government to block all exports of F-35 fighter jet parts to Israel over concerns they were being used to violate international law during the war in Gaza. So I think a lot of this has to do with this Rafah offensive. Okay, they're really concerned here that there's going to be a lot of casualties, way worse than what we saw throughout this entire, 3 months now, 4 months even. With this war down in Gaza, it's going to get way worse if they go into Rafah because there's so many people there. The appeals court said the state had 7 days to comply with the order, excuse me, which echoed alarm across Europe and elsewhere over the humanitarian impact of the war. Israel denies committing abuses and says it is battling Hamas militants bent on its destruction. It's undeniable that there is a clear risk the exported F-35 parts are used in serious violations of international humanitarian law, the court said, ruling in favor of a lawsuit against the Dutch state over the exports brought by rights groups, including the Dutch arm of Oxfam. The Dutch government said it would appeal to the Supreme Court, arguing that it should be up to the state to set foreign policy, not a court. So not sure if that'll get turned around, but as of now, yeah, it looks like these parts are going to be halted, and I'm sure a lot of people are concerned that the International Criminal Court is going to be declaring war crimes on Israel for their offensive here, especially if they go into Rafah. Because understand this: if they go into Rafah, that one city of Rafah has almost the entire population of Gaza just inside that one city. So if we thought the numbers were really bad, I think we're up to like 28,000 people or more that have been killed in airstrikes in Gaza. It's going to be way worse. That number may double, triple, or quadruple. Who knows? We may be up to 100,000 or more killed by the time the Rafah offensive is over. This number may skyrocket. Okay, and this is all at the same time where just in another week or two from now, maybe 3 weeks at the most, Israel's going to have to be presenting to the International Court of Justice on their genocide charges from South America. They're going to have to be presenting evidence that they are reducing their number of casualties. How are they going to be able to do that if they move in here and they start killing, thousands of people every single day and the numbers just start skyrocketing? It's going to be a complete bloodbath here just because there's so many people. So here's the International Criminal Court prosecutor. He's deeply concerned by the situation in Gaza's Rafah. Okay, this is what they had to say here. So International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan said on Monday he was deeply concerned about reports of bombardment and potential ground incursion by Israeli forces in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Khan posted on X after airstrikes in the city that is the last refuge of about 1 million displaced civilians. So see, there's lots of people there. The prosecutor said the court was actively investigating any crimes allegedly committed in Gaza and that those who are in breach of the law will be held accountable. He later told Reuters that half the population of Gaza is currently concentrated around Rafah, reportedly 6 times its normal concentration. So see, it's Rafah, I think, had somewhere around 150,000 people. Now there's like 1 million, if not up to 1.5 million people there. There's a lot of refugees there. When you have a population that is 60% children, women by all accounts, the risks to civilians are profound, he said. This situation is one that I give the utmost priority to. It's an issue that we're moving forward on. So another thing I want to note here is what they say here about women and children, that many of these people that are getting killed are women and children. Okay, it's not really men. It's a lot of it is kids. So imagine, like, how is that not war crimes? How I understand that war brings death. It always does. Innocent civilians always die. But the large amount of children being killed in this conflict is out of this world. Okay, it's really, really bad what's going on over there. So Israel is not a member of the Hague-based court and does not recognize its jurisdiction. But Khan said in October his court and jurisdiction over any potential war crimes carried out by Hamas Palestinian militants in Israel and by Israelis in the Gaza Strip. Okay, so like I said, this could get really bad over here for Israel if they decide to move in here. But it really looks like Benjamin Netanyahu is ready to move in. Like I said, they've already been bombing Rafah several times here over the last couple days. We've had hundreds of people reportedly killed. I even saw a article from Al Jazeera that there was a reporter that just got seriously wounded. Him and the cameraman apparently got hit by an airstrike. And there's footage, online about that too, that supposedly he got really badly injured. So lots of people are getting hurt here, and the offensive is ramping up. I think they're getting ready to move in here very soon. And if somebody doesn't prevent this from happening, this is going to be a horrible disaster. It really will be. So hopefully somebody does prevent this from happening, but it doesn't look likely that that'll happen. So that's going to be the latest here that I have for you on Israel. If any other information comes out, we're probably going to have lots of information here over the next few days and the next week, just because of this Rafah offensive. There's going to be a lot of information coming out. So I will be reporting quite a bit on Israel here, and I'll let you know what's going on. So I appreciate you hanging out here, with me here in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And we do put out several updates every single day. So thank you so much for hanging out again today. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.